Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. The sisters of Lazarus sent word to Jesus saying, "Master, the one you love is ill." When Jesus heard this, he said, "This illness is not to end in death, but it is for the glory of God, that the Son of God may be glorified through it." Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. So when he heard that he was ill, he remained for 2 days in the place where he was. Then after this, he said to his disciples, "Let us go back to Judea." When Jesus arrived, he found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went out to meet him, but Mary sat at home. Martha said to Jesus, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you." And Jesus said to her, "Your brother will rise." Martha said, "I know he will rise in the resurrection on the last day." Jesus told her, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, even if he dies, will live. And everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this?" She said to him, "Yes, Lord. I have come to believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, the one who is coming into the world." He became perturbed and deeply troubled and said, "Where have you laid him?" They said to him, "Sir, come and see." And Jesus wept. So the Jews said, "See how he loved him." But some of them said, "Could not the one who opened the eyes of the blind man have done something so that this man would not have died?" So Jesus, perturbed again, came to the tomb. It was a cave and a stone lay across it. Jesus said, "Take away the stone." Martha, the dead man's sister, said to him, "Lord, by now there will be a stench. He has been dead for 4 days." And Jesus said to her, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" So they took away the stone. And Jesus raised his eyes and said, "Father, I thank you for hearing me. I know that you always hear me, but because of the crowd here, I have said this, that they may believe that you sent me." And when he had said this, he cried out in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out." The dead man came out, tied hand and foot with burial bands, and his face was wrapped in a cloth. So Jesus said to them, "Untie him and let him go." Now many of the Jews who had come to Mary and seen what he had done began to believe in him. My sisters and brothers, the gospel of the Lord.
Praise you, Lord.
Well, I'm glad you're all here as we conclude our preaching series this last 5 weeks. This is the last and final installment of the preaching series for Lent called Wait, What? Which was our opportunity over these weeks to slow down and ask some questions about some of these big moments in the life of Jesus. When he performs miracles or signs or conversations where we think, wait, what? How did that work? Wait, is that really true? Is that what he said? And what effect would it might have on me and us in our lives today? So preaching series Wait What concludes with this big reading that we hear of Jesus with Lazarus. And wow, it's again a big sign trying to get people to understand that Jesus is the Messiah. I don't know about you, but that's rarely a question I have, is looking for the Messiah. And yet it's such a big question all the way through the Gospels. It seems like, who's the Messiah? Is Jesus the Messiah? Is he from the right place? What's he going to do? Is he acting correctly as the Messiah? All of that seems to be a preoccupation with most of the people that we see in the New Testament. And even the Old Testament, the Jews are waiting for the Messiah. So there's a lot of the books are around the Messiah's eventual coming, right? So a big piece, looking and hoping for the Messiah. But I don't think I ever really asked that question very much. I wasn't walking around as I started my, kind of faith journey, which would be kind of in my 20s. I wasn't asking, where's the Messiah? I don't think I ever asked anybody, where's the Messiah? That was just not a big question for me. And not because I had it, tacked down. I didn't, oh yeah, I know who the Messiah is. I got it. No, it just didn't occur to me. I wasn't looking for the Messiah. And I don't know why that was. I was looking to be happy. I was looking for love, certainly. I was looking for meaning. I was looking for purpose. But I was never thinking, I need to get up Tuesday, I'm going to go out and look for the Messiah. I just never did that. And maybe you were like that, and maybe most of us are, that we don't think about looking for the Messiah. We're not drawn to that question. And maybe because the Messiah spot of our life, that which would save us, we kind of fill with other things. Maybe. Politics often work that way. Politicians try to tell us that they're the one, they're going to save us, them alone, maybe. Or maybe, celebrities and get all of our attention. Or maybe our Messiah, part of our life that the Messiah could be in, we fill up with ourselves, that we're the ones. I don't know. Or maybe kids or a romantic partner, or we kind of think that if that person is in our life, that kind of Messiah, they're going to save me. That can put some strain on a relationship right away, right? If you've ever been on either side of that. Maybe that's the case. Or maybe we just need a sign. Maybe we just need someone to really bang us over the head and say, this is the Messiah and this is how it works. And maybe a lot of the people in the biblical times in the life of Jesus that are surrounding these main characters, maybe they need a sign. They need to be banged over the head with that Jesus is the Messiah. And boy, this is one of them, right? Raising some guy from the dead, that should make you pay attention. If it happened, here in Hollywood, we'd be like, wow, what happened there, right? Wait, what? We would be really interested, and our attention would be taken, right, by that sign. Because all the way through the Gospel of John, the telling of the story of Jesus, as John does it, he's trying to arrange his history, arrange his story, the incidents, with this one desire to have all of us understand that Jesus is the Messiah and to come to belief, right? To come to belief. So the incident of raising Lazarus is important for Lazarus, certainly, made his day better. It's important for his sisters because they're like, oh, wow, I got it. It's important for the Jews around it, but it's important for us that this is a sign. And the writer of the Gospel of John gives us all these signs, like turning water into wine. It's a big sign, Messiah. The guy born blind, like we heard last week, and he's healed, another sign. And this big sign of raising Lazarus from the dead. That should tell us, oh, right, that's the Messiah. So, and the very last part of the Gospel of John, is after he's told everything, Jesus has been raised from the dead, all the rest, he's reappeared to people. The writer of the Gospel says, I wrote all of this, he said, I wrote all of this so that you may come to believe that Jesus is the Son of God, right? He is the Messiah, he's the Son of God. And in believing in him, that you might have life in his name. Life in his name. That's the reason the Gospel of John exists. So do we want life in his name? Do we want to claim Jesus as the Messiah? Do we want to believe in Jesus? That's our question today. And to believe in Jesus, like to believe in anyone really, is two things. Like Jesus is real. Yeah, got it. Can we do that? And then secondly, can Jesus do what he says he's going to do? Can he save us? Because when I say to you, oh, I believe in you, I'm saying, I believe that you can do what you say you can do, right? I believe in you. I'm right behind you. I believe you can deliver. So can we do that? Can we do that? Because that is our question right now. And it's a great time at the latter part of Lent is to ask the question, do we really believe that Jesus is the Messiah? Do we believe it? Or are we just kind of showing up out of habit or kind of a hunch or kind of a hope? Do we actually believe it? Do we believe that Jesus is God, gave us life, continues to hold us in life, and will bring us to eternal life? Do we believe that? Do we believe that? So I want you to ask yourself that question. And maybe for the slow processors among us, where you don't have an answer just like that, take out your phone, set an alarm for 2 hours from now, and ask yourself that question again. Do I believe that Jesus is the Messiah? And if I believe that, what does that mean to me? Does it mean that I could relax? I don't have to be Messiah? Does it mean that if I name Jesus as a Messiah, then I can let my husband or my wife off the hook? Does it mean that I don't have to look for other stuff to save me? What does it mean? What will it mean for you? I can't tell you what it's going to mean for you. I can tell you what it means for me. And that's why I started with, will it let you relax? It helps me relax. It helps my anxiety to go down. I just have regular anxiety like anybody else, living life anxiety. But I can take myself out of the role and put Jesus in it. See if that's what you need. See if you claiming Jesus as a Messiah can change everything for you, give you a grounding, and amplify your hope as you get closer to the promise that Jesus is the Messiah and can and has saved us all.